The Army Corps of Engineers is getting closer to picking a new plan that will tell them when and where to release water from Lake Okeechobee for years to come.
Megan Nick Roberts spoke one-on-one with Congressman Mast about the final options he finds most beneficial and one he says could potentially make things worse for the Treasure Coast.
Our number is easy. It's a goose egg. It's zero. We don't want any time of year. We definitely don't want it when it's poison.
U.S. Congressman Mast says his office has been crunching the numbers from the Army Corps' 5 plans, narrowed down from thousands to become the new water release guideline.
There's nothing that guarantees we'll get another chance to do this in 10 years, 20 years, or even 50 years. So we don't know when we'll get another chance to stop discharges.
The pending guideline is called LOSUM, or the Lake Okeechobee System Operating Manual.
The part that makes me most nervous is that one of those plans could actually make things even worse.
Mast putting his support behind plans A, or CC, which he says have broad benefits beyond the St. Lucie.
They keep water out of the St. Lucie. They get the Caloosahatchee water when they need it, keeps it out of there when they don't need it, gets the Everglades water when they need it, and actually keeps more water for agriculture as well and benefits everybody.
The EAA reservoir is crucial in cleaning water, sending it south to the Everglades where it belongs. Completion of this project would dramatically reduce the toxic discharges that have been plaguing our community for decades.
Hey everybody, I want to give you a quick update on water issues this week. Now on Monday, I joined Governor DeSantis to call on President Biden to include at least $725 million in his budget proposal for Everglades restoration. Specifically, we asked him to commit to ensuring that there are no more delays in completing the EAA reservoir because of a lack of funding. Now, as you may know, the EAA reservoir, it is the single most important project when it comes to sending water south to the Everglades, keeping toxic blue-green algae discharges out of our estuaries.
Let Brian Mast come up and say a few things. We'll hear from a few more people.
Thank you, Governor. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Look, the reason we love our governor is because his most important sense is common sense. We spoke about it a couple of years ago and said if every year the Corps comes to us and says the lake is too high as we have hurricanes on the horizon, then let's use a little common sense and bring that lake a little bit lower.
So if you speak to the scientists about this, they'll tell you marinas are especially ripe conditions for creating these very, very most serious algal blooms, because one of the things that you don't have in a lot of these marinas are wind flow and movement of the water. Wind flow, movement of the water helps to break up these algal blooms to some degree. When you don't have that, you have the heat, you have the temperatures, you have the nutrient conditions on Lake Okeechobee, but you don't have it moving around. That makes it especially dangerous in these kind of areas. Melissa, please. Governor. You know, the governor came in, he does everything strategically, and he looked at it and he said, what can make the biggest possible difference and help the most people? Well, if we do this reservoir, we can help the Everglades, we can help the East Coast, we can help the West Coast, all in one swoop. So let's go out and do that. That's just common sense. The state legislature put the dollars towards this, just waiting on those federal dollars to come in. This was the opportunity to do it. And, you know, let's not be bashful about this. The governor said this is a crown jewel for the environment for the state of Florida.
This is the lake right now. Doesn't matter if the lake's at 10 feet or 15 feet or 18 feet. These are the conditions on the lake. Anybody care to dispute that? This is what a couple hundred miles of the lake is right now. Doesn't matter the depth that we put it at. It's broken. The estuaries, they will only look like this if they're made to look like this. The dolphins will only swim in this if they're made to swim in this. The manatee will only swim in this if they're made to swim in this. There's a lot of benefits that people want off the lake. Agriculture needs water. I acknowledge that fully. But they don't get to ask that my community get this dumped on it in order to get the water that they want. Please ask the Corps to always keep in mind and start from a point of doing no harm before they start to dole out the benefits of Lake Okeechobee.
I visited Port Mayaca with General Graham during a visit where it was absolutely disgusting, look exactly like what you see here behind me. This is the Lagoon Dam. This is where your individuals work right up here. We tried to go out onto this Lagoon Dam right here, and it was so disgusting that we couldn't even breathe. And because it was so disgusting, we couldn't even breathe, we tried to go inside of the building there, and even in the building, it was an unbearable state. We were spitting every couple seconds to get the taste of it out of our mouths. Our clothes reeked for hours thereafter. I want to submit for the record a study by the University of Florida, Madam Chairwoman, if there's no objection to that, that indicates that the inhalation hazard from harmful algal blooms, these toxic algal blooms, can actually travel for up to 10 miles and is persistent for hours on end. I don't take anything more seriously than the safety of the people in my community and the safety of my brothers and sisters in arms. I know you're a uniformed service member. I just gave you pretty damning information about how toxic this is and the fact that your personnel are sitting there breathing it 10 hours a day. Would anybody in this room care if I opened this up? Would you care if I opened this up? No. Why? General, would you care if I open this up in here?
Mr. Mast, your time is up, sir.
I'll open it up then. Thanks.
Hello, I'm Governor Ron DeSantis, and I want to congratulate Congressman Brian Mast on being awarded the Indian River Lagoon Leadership and Achievement Award. As a past recipient of this award, I appreciate the efforts of the Harbor Branch Oceanographic Institute Foundation to further our mission for clean water in Florida. Congressman Mast has been an ally of my administration as we stand up for Florida's environment and fight for Florida's fair share of federal funds to advance our clean water initiatives. By coordinating efforts across state and federal government and civil organizations such as Harbor Branch, we are coming together as Floridians to protect and restore the Indian River Lagoon for future generations. Congratulations, Brian Mast.